Welcome back, everybody, to the Philadelphia Eagles franchise here on Madden 22. Today, the Birds had their final regular season home game of the season against another playoff hopeful here in the 8-6 Chicago Bears, the team who beat the Eagles last year here at the Link in the NFC divisional round a year ago. The Philadelphia Eagles currently sit at 10-4. We just officially clinched a playoff berth last week. But before we talk about today's game, we do have a prospect profile. We're going to be talking about the offensive and defensive lines. Two positions, but I think the Eagles are going to attack heavily this offseason with some possible future holes on both of them and a real need for depth because it seems like we lose offensive and defensive linemen about every game. We have some talented tackles already, but Tyler Palumbo and Ifeanyi Jumbo Roko are free agents after next year. I'm not so sure either of them are going to be back, so we may want to pair somebody up long-term with Jedrick Wills. At guard, we have Landon Dickerson, who's good, but he's on the final year of his contract and has trouble staying healthy. Eric Flowers is on the last year of his deal. Jason Kelce is 36 years old. He's probably going to retire. So I think the only two players who I'm confident are going to be starters next year are Fletcher Luce and Marcus Crum. So as you can see, offensive line is going to be a real priority for us this offseason. The strength of this class at the offensive line is at the left tackle position with 5 possible first-rounders as we start with Hennigan Patrice out of Nebraska. He's currently the top projected left tackle to come off the board in this year's class, but with multiple players right on his tail, that's far from a certainty. Assuming the Eagles are picking probably in the 20s or if all goes well in the 30s, Patrice probably won't fall that far, but he could very well be a trade-up candidate. Very solid athleticism, very productive player. He really checks all the boxes of what you look for in a franchise left tackle. Right behind him on the board is NC State's Abraham Belkett Jr. Also at 22 years old, Belkett is another player who probably will be off the board by the time the Eagles make their first selection. I think he's a little bit worse as a prospect than Hennigan Patrice, but both of these players are really solid, and they certainly deserve to be the top 2 left tackles off the board in this year's class, and I believe both of them can truly be blindside blockers for any quarterback. This young man is also super athletic as well, again, highly productive too, so I think he's going to be well worth a first-round draft pick. We get to this next range of players who I think have a lot better shot of reaching the Eagles' first pick, and we start with Ifeanyi Jumbo from Alabama. Alabama churns out NFL offensive linemen for breakfast, and Jumbo is the next on that list. He is currently projected to go in the late first, early second round, so there's a good shot he'll be available when the Eagles make their first pick. And if they truly are not sure about the future of Tyler Palumbo, or at least not sure about paying him long-term, Ifeanyi Jumbo, at only 21 years old, would be a great option. Kennesaw Burke from Maryland, as well as a talented player, too. He's probably more of an early second-round guy, but I think if the Eagles want him, they would have to choose him with their first pick, and if the top 3 left tackles are off the board, he very well could be worth it. Burke is inconsistent, but we know the talent is there. He has struggled against big competition, but he has played well against poor competition, so I'm not sure how well that bodes for him. We'll see what he looks like in the pros. There's another highly projected tackle here in Nye Uthert from Miami. I don't think he's good as those top 4, but he is there. There's also a left tackle whose first name is Truck. Figured I'd point that out. Now we move to guard. This is Fred Campbell from Westlake. The Westlake Hornets have 3 offensive linemen projected to go in the top 50 picks, including Campbell, who's been a really good 4-year starter. With a hole at left guard, the Eagles very well could draft him if they don't want to re-sign Eric Flowers or the oft-injured Landon Dickerson. I think Fred Campbell could make sense in the back end of the first round. He's currently a projected second-rounder, but I think he's a first-round talent, and again, if the Eagles want to pick him, they're going to have to do it in round 1. I think he would be a very good value selection in the back end of a first round, somebody who's been a very good starter for a number of years. Solid center class headlined by Jason Johnson, a Pennsylvania-born kid out of Penn State. And then we move to right guard with 2 top 15 projected players as we start with Westlake's Lewis Palmer, the top projected overall offensive lineman currently in the class. Palmer's been a very serviceable player for the Hornets at the other guard position, along with Fred Campbell. I honestly think Palmer's a slightly worse prospect than Campbell, which is interesting because Palmer's going to be the first of those 2 guards off the board. I still think he's a really, really good player and will be worth a probably mid-first round pick, but I don't think he's quite the best offensive lineman in this class. Deshaun McKinley from Texas State is also projected in the first round. And then at right tackle, you got Westlake's Blake Wilson and Zachariah Westerschlott from Stanford as well, also currently slotted to go in round 1. Let's talk about the defensive line. And this is a strength of the Eagles when everybody is healthy. But the problem is that's far and few between. On the edge, the Eagles have Cleveland Ferrell, Josh Uche, and Jabari Achebe. 3 very talented players, but as we know, Jabari Achebe can't really stay on the field. So that's certainly a position the Eagles may look to add upon, specifically depth-wise. And then a defensive tackle, really big need here. Fletcher Cox is good, but he's 33 years old. Very well could retire pretty soon. So as we start with left end, very talented group here, headlined by Ladarian Mobley from Oklahoma. He's a really good pass rusher. But the guy who really intrigues me here, Philadelphia-born kid here, Adolphe Klafawar. So Klafawar went to high school in Philadelphia, graduated in 3 years, went to the University of Pennsylvania. He's an Ivy League kid, graduated from there in just 2.5 seasons. So he is a remarkably smart kid in the classroom. After his 3 seasons at Penn, he went on as a graduate transfer to the University of Temple, where he is now. You don't find many 21-year-old graduate transfers, but here we are. Klafawar is raw as a pass rusher, and he doesn't always have the traditional role of having his hand in the dirt. He's sort of a Swiss Army knife for the Temple defense, thanks to his unbelievably freakish athleticism. He has the traits to be a very good pass rusher, but he has a lot of refining to do, and I think he could develop here in Philadelphia if he falls to our pick, which is sort of unlikely. The top projected defensive player, regardless of position in this class, is Zahir Yahya from Ohio State. His older brother, Mustafa Yahya, was a top 3 pick last year by the Las Vegas Raiders. He's a superstar X-Factor pass rusher. So the Yahya family clearly knows how to breed pass rushers. I think this kid right here is not as quite of a prospect as his older brother, but he's still really good. And there's still a great reason why he is the top projected defensive player in this class. He's also a freak athlete who has more production than some of these other pass rushers, which is why he is currently slotted ahead of them. He's not the only projected top 5 pick at right end. As you'll see here, Oklahoma State's Kamari Hunter as well is also slotted to go very high in this draft. Let's talk about defensive tackle, maybe the biggest long-term need on this Eagles roster. The top projected one is Cincinnati's Zaire Savage, who's projected to go right in that range of late first, early second. I think he would make a lot of sense for Philadelphia. Very talented player who could step in day 1 and replace Fletcher Cox immediately if he were to retire. And even if Cox doesn't retire, he would be the perfect mentor for Zaire Savage. So I think this would be a really good landing spot for him. Look at the athletic traits. Great to elite across the board. Total freak, has the upside to be a star. If the Eagles don't land him, they could go a little bit later down the board with Ledger Olundanye from UAB. He's pretty much a watered-down version of Jordan Davis, who the Eagles just picked in real life. This kid is 6'7", 360 pounds. He's not quite the freak that a guy like Jordan Davis is, but Jordan Davis is one of one. There's nobody built like him. This kid right here is a really good run stopper. I don't think he has a ton of upside as a pass rusher on 3rd downs, but Olundanye can really provide a presence as a body in the middle of your defensive line as a run stuffer, and there's value for that in today's NFL, so I think he'll be well worth a day 2 selection, and he very well could be an Eagle, especially if they don't land Zaire Savage in round 1. So that'll wrap up this prospect profile. Let me know which offensive and defensive linemen you guys liked down below, and again, there's a good shot we're going to be looking at both of those positions here in the upcoming draft. So we're 10-4. We have officially clinched the playoffs after our win last week against Seattle. And this is where everything stands. We're the 5th seed, a game below the Dallas Cowboys for first place in the division and the conference. Keep in mind, we beat Dallas both times we played against them this year, so we do have the head-to-head tiebreaker. Let's talk about this game here against the Bears, and we are going into it a little bit wounded, especially with the new injury of Devontae Smith, who fractured his foot. He will be out for the rest of the regular season, which is not good. We're going to need guys like Tykeem Keon, JT DeMarco, and even Rosemont St. Clair out of the backfield to step up as receivers. So let's talk about this Bears team, of course, led by quarterback Justin Fields, who has completely revived the culture here in Chicago. I'm pretty sure they've made the playoffs every year with him, and even though statistically he's been a little bit disappointing this season, he has been awarded a massive 5-year contract extension. Of course, the Bears also traded significant draft capital for Aaron Donald in the offseason, who has not lost a step since being traded away from the Rams. Chicago still has Khalil Mack on their pass rush as well. That is a scary 1-2 duo of Aaron Donald and Khalil Mack. Really talented football team who, I mean, we know these guys are good. They beat us in the playoffs last year, so this is a real opportunity at revenge, if you will. Right here at the link in January last season, of course, as we all remember, the snow was falling hard in what was a classic divisional round playoff game. Of course, the Eagles were down 21-3. They came back, and they were a Devontae Smith foot in the end zone away from winning the ball game. So we never really got closure on that game until hopefully today. I mean, it wouldn't be full closure, but a win here would be nice against a team who I guess we're kind of developing a little rivalry with. So Chicago opens up with the ball. Justin Fields here on first down from the 48 is picked off. DeShon Elliott with the interception, and the Eagles quickly get the turnover. DeShon Elliott's second consecutive week with an interception. So now the Eagles offense comes out onto the field led by quarterback Xander Vanderwall, who has been very good the second half of the season after a rocky start to begin the year. Good run up the middle here by Tazewell Hubbard. He then cuts to the left side and brings it to the 19-yard line. The Eagles are in business on both sides of the ball here in the early stages of this ball game. From the 19 now, Vanderwall hands it back off for Hubbard. Has room again to the left. Tries to truck the defender. He has it at about the 6-yard line. As you guys know, ground and pound, that's the way to go. And so far, that's been working in this one. 3rd and goal now at the 6. Vanderwall is under a lot of pressure. He outruns Khalil Mack and will dive into the end zone for a touchdown. What a run by Xander Vanderwall, doing some Cam Newton type moves on that play. This has got to be like his 3rd straight game of a rushing touchdown. This easily the most impressive. What a job, not only avoiding the sack by Khalil Mack, but outrunning him to the end zone, so it's now 7-0. The Bears have it back, looking to respond. Here's Justin Fields. He says, Vanderwall, hold my beer. Fields with a nice run of 21 yards. It feels like whenever these two teams play against each other, Justin Fields runs it really well. Fields is one of the most mobile quarterbacks in the NFL, so his legs is certainly be something to watch out for as he misses the throw there on 3rd and 6. So the Eagle defense gets a stop. Philadelphia's defense, coming off a great performance last week against Seattle, is looking pretty good here. It's nice to see the Eagles defense really finally coming into their own. 3rd and 8, short throw for Tykeem Keon is caught for a gain of about 6, wrapped up by Bartholomew Claybrook. So Philadelphia has to punt it, and the Bears have it back. It's a punt off, ladies and gentlemen. 3rd and 1, what a hit! Bobby Hitstick Wagner stops David Montgomery from getting the first down. That'll wrap up the first quarter. Philadelphia's defense looks lights out at the moment. 7-0 lead here in favor of the Eagles, largely because of that interception by DeShon Elliott. First play of the second quarter. Vanderwall under pressure, tries to get rid of it, and it's picked off. Eddie Jackson with the interception. Vanderwall with the hit stick. That's Vanderwall's 2nd straight week with not only throwing an interception, but tackling the player who got the pick. He saw Tykeem Keon was open, but sort of read the play a little bit too late. Costly turnover, and that breeds new life for the Bears, but it slips away from them immediately. Kmet fumbles it, and it's recovered by Isaiah Simmons. Neither of these offenses look good at all. The Bears' 2nd turnover of the game. The play would not be reviewed. The fumble stands, so the Eagles get it right back, and the turnover is pretty much offset. 3rd and 9, the pass is incomplete. Vanderwall is 1 for 6 currently. He has not been good at all so far today. Both offenses really struggling right now. Already 3 combined turnovers in this game as the pass is caught by Dexter Dixon III, the 3rd-year pro out of Mississippi State. Brings it to the 38-yard line. We'll see if this is the drive where the Chicago offense can finally figure it out as it's a handoff for David Montgomery. Montgomery with blocks. down the field, hit hard by Thomas at the 8-yard line. Big gain of 31 yards for Montgomery, who's had a quiet start up until that play. And now the Chicago Bears have it in the red zone, looking to score and tie it up. First and goal, very next play. Fields goes short for Allen Robinson, who is in for a touchdown. And the Chicago Bears tie it up at 7. Chicago finally on the board. It took them a little while, but now we are knotted up at 7. The Eagles have it back. They have not thrown the ball well today, but they have ran it well. Good gain of 13 for Tazewell Hubbard, who really has been carrying the load today for the offense, with Xander Vanderwall really struggling so far. On first down, Vanderwall under pressure, takes a shot downfield. It's caught by Rosemond St. Clair. Good to see that Vanderwall's confidence isn't totally shattered yet. Now the Eagles have it at the 3. Vanderwall misses another throw there for Keon. Good pressure from Akeem Hicks. Fourth and goal at the 3. Tough decision here for the Eagles. Do you take the points or do you go for it? Philadelphia has decided that they are going to play it safe. 20-yard field goal attempt here for Zebediah Phoenix, who has a history of missing kicks against the Bears for whatever reason. But he doesn't miss that one. The chip shot is good, and the Eagles are on the board. They are back on top. 10-7 with not a whole lot of time here left in the first half as we're at the 2-minute warning. 3rd and 17 after a pair of penalties by the Bears offensive line. Short run by Montgomery, doesn't get much. Eagles call a timeout to stop the clock. So Philadelphia is going to get it back on offense here with a nice opportunity of making a 2-score game. 3rd and 10 here from the 37. Vanderwall looking to throw it, trying to outrun another pass rusher. This time he does, and it's caught! What a catch by Troy Dobbs. What a great throw. What a great catch to keep both feet in bounds. But there's one problem. He actually did not get both feet in bounds. The booth caught on, so the play would be reviewed. Close call here, but it would be reversed. So this play will not count. Philadelphia's going to have to punt it, and the Bears get it back looking to take the lead as Fields takes a shot deep downfield. It's caught by Dexter Dixon III, who burns Edmond Orient for the touchdown. The Bears have the lead, but there's one problem. We do have a flag. Luckily for Chicago, it's not going to be on them. Roughing the passer here called against Fletcher Cox. So the touchdown will stand, and the Bears lead this one 14-10. First time today Chicago's been on top. Eagles trying to get the lead right back, but it's hard when Vanderwall is going to miss throws like that. That play had a chance of being a touchdown with Tykeem Keon's speed. 2nd and 10 now from the 25. Vanderwall again looking to throw. It scrambles to the right. He is sacked by Khalil Mack, and it continues to be a just horrible first half for Xander Vanderwall. No excuses. He is not playing well. That'll wrap up the first half, 14-10. Slow start here for both offenses. The Bears picked it up a little bit here in the second quarter. We'll see if they can keep that momentum going. I know usually I game plan for us to run the ball, but we're down. The pass offense is struggling. So I'm going to change the game plan for the passing offense. Hopefully Xander Vanderwall can get it together because he just has looked miserable here in this first half. He's missing throws. He's making bad reads. He's taking sacks. He's just not playing good football whatsoever. Philadelphia opens up with the ball. 3rd and 5. Short throw for St. Clair. He just wanted to get it to the open receiver. He didn't trust himself to go deep with it. St. Clair only gets a yard. St. Clair has caught 4 of his 6 passes today. So he's really only thrown 2 passes to his receivers. Jack Fox on for the punt, and it is a beauty. Downed at the 2-yard line by Mekhi Diggins. Great punt by Jack Fox. When in doubt, give the ball to Foxy and let him do some work. 3rd and 7 now. The Bears trying to get something going on that drive that they cannot. So the field position proves to actually be a big deal. Chicago has to punt it, and the Eagles have it back. 2nd and 10. Vanderwall, he gets it to Tykeem Keon to the 29-yard line. Hey, the Eagles are moving it down the field. Hopefully this is where Xander Vanderwall can turn a page on this game and figure some things out. 3rd and 5 now at the 24. Vanderwall again looking to throw it. Scrambles to the right side under pressure. Another bad throw. Could have been intercepted. The Eagles are lucky it wasn't. So they'll go for the field goal here. A 41-yard attempt here for Zebediah Phoenix II. Sinks it down the middle with no problem. So Philadelphia has it within 1 as it's now a 14-13 ball game. Chicago has it back about halfway through quarter number 3. 14-13 your score. Fields on 2nd and 10. Connects with Dexter Dixon III, who gets by a couple defenders. Nothing but green grass ahead. A 75-yard touchdown for Dexter Dixon, who has had 2 very long touchdown receptions in this game. I hope you started him in fantasy. And the Bears lead this one by 8, as it's now 21-13. And now the Eagles really got to get it together. Vanderwall under pressure. He is sacked by Khalil Mack. There's the Landon Dickerson injury that happens seemingly every week. But Vanderwall is just not responding to pressure well at all in this game. And now Khalil Mack is in the zone. That's bad news. Vanderwall under more pressure here. Goes short for St. Clair. He gets about 7. Another stalled drive here for the Eagles offense, who just needs some sort of spark right now. Chicago has it back. 3rd and 3, up by 8 with just under a minute left to go here in the quarter. Justin Fields looks to throw it. Incomplete. Justin Fields has missed quite a few passes as well today. So the Bears field goal team comes out, 51-yard attempt, and it is good. So Chicago takes a 2-score lead. It's 24-13. The Eagles offense will return to the field, but it's going to be a little bit different. Xander Vanderwall has been benched for 6th-round rookie Donovan Krause. So Krause will come in. He's a very mobile quarterback with good accuracy, but not a lot of arm strength. As on 3rd and 8, he has no time to throw it. Incomplete. Somebody's got a block there. So not a good first drive here for Krause. I imagine this won't be a permanent benching going forward, but the Eagles offense needed a spark today, and Donovan Krause can hopefully be that spark. 3rd and inches, nice catch by Cole Kmet. He brings it to the 48-yard line. Good first down play there for Kmet. And the Bears can try to ice the game here on this possession. 2nd and 10. Good job by Joko Unwosu to force the loss of 2. Other than that one, 31-yard run by David Montgomery, he has been awfully quiet in this game. 3rd and 12 now. Big play here. Justin Fields under pressure. Fields escapes the pocket and will run for the first down. I told you Justin Fields' legs were a weapon. Costly play there for the Eagle defense. Massive momentum shift there for Chicago. Handoff for Montgomery. Gets by the defender. Montgomery with a nice run. He gets about 13. 69 yards. Nice. 1st and goal now at the 1. After chewing some clock, Montgomery will get into the end zone for a touchdown. It's a 3-score game now, and the Eagles are in real trouble with 2.5 minutes to go. It is not looking good. Hopefully they can get a big play here from Donovan Krause as he has an open man. It's Rosemont St. Clair. Gets it to about the 11-yard line. Krause now with 69 yards. Nice. 3rd and 4 now at the 4. Philadelphia looking to punch it in quickly. Krause has it for Keon, who drops it. Although the quarterbacks have been bad today, the receivers have not done any favors. Tykeem Keon has dropped 3 passes in this game, but he doesn't drop that one. Touchdown for Tykeem Keon. So the Eagles have it back within 2 scores, but with 1:47, they've got to get this onside kick and hope for a prayer. Good onside kick for Phoenix, but it is going to be recovered by Darnell Mooney, and that's pretty much all she wrote. The Bears would chew clock for the final 1:46. They're going to finish off the job. They win this one 31-20. A good win here for the Bears. I don't know why Xander Vanderwall is posing for pictures, especially with Eddie Jackson, who intercepted him today. This was our worst offensive performance all year, which more so is about how good our offense has been. But the offense was bad today. I thought the defense was good. I know we allowed 34 points, but outside of a couple really big plays, I thought our defense was actually really solid in this game. Justin Fields was pretty solid, but if not for those 2 long touchdowns, he wasn't that impressive. I thought we did a good job against him. The problem was our passing game was miserable. Xander Vanderwall was horrible. Donovan Krause, I guess, was better, but he didn't really show that much. So I would expect Xander Vanderwall to be the starter next week, but hopefully we can light a fire under his rear end. Both teams ran the ball fairly well. Rosemont St. Clair was by far our best receiver today. Everybody else either couldn't get open or couldn't catch the football. A lot of drops in this game. Mooney had 4. Tykeem Keon had 3. Keon needs to step up as our #1 receiver with Devontae Smith out, and he just didn't do that today. Again, I thought our defense was pretty solid. We stopped the run. The pass game wasn't all that impressive. Again, minus a couple big plays. So I do have some silver lining here. The Cowboys did lose. So we remained the 5 seed. We're still only a game behind Dallas, but we only have 2 weeks to go. Again, keep in mind we had the head-to-head tiebreaker over them. So we can still come back and win this division or win, who knows, the 1 seed. in the NFC. We've got 2 more weeks to go. Week 17 against the Saints on prime time. I think Monday Night Football. I do plan on having our final prospect profile in the next episode. We're going to look at linebackers and defensive backs. And then Week 18 against the Baltimore Ravens to finish up a regular season in the following episode. And then from there, playoff football. I hope you guys are ready. Make sure to like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.